The following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. Morning. We got Stuart from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. How smoky is it out at Dooralong?
Very smoky this morning.
Very smoky?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are there any fires near you?
The closest one is, we've got two actually. There's one at YE, which is a bit further up from Dooralong, and one inland a bit at Jillaby. And fingers crossed they don't come any closer.
Yeah.
The closest one is 10k away.
Yeah.
And we're praying that the wind doesn't come up and affect us.
Praying for the wind to blow back onto the fire itself.
Yeah, well, we need some rain, definitely.
Oh, we need to heal the land. I don't know what we've done to this beautiful land of Australia, but it needs healing, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Yeah. Stuart, how long have you been at Dooralong?
6.5 months now.
6.5 months.
Yes.
And has it been an interesting or a good 6.5 months for you?
It's been interesting and good at the same time. I'm thoroughly enjoying the place. This is my second time round. Mm-hmm. I done a Dooralong program back in 2016.
Right, so that was 3 years ago?
3 years ago, that's correct. Yeah.
And you were telling me earlier that it's alcohol that's your addiction.
Yeah, alcohol. I've been a heavy drinker for 30 odd years now.
It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm 56, and it was just my early days. I started in the culture back in the day, in the 80s when I started working.
What do you mean by the culture? The after work culture?
After work and weekends, I'd followed bands, Sydney bands, and went from pub to club, and actually used to wipe myself out most times.
So work would finish 3-4 o'clock, and somebody would say, "Oh, let's go down the pub, let's have a few beers."
Yeah, that's exactly right. Most days after working, the boss, the staff would be all included. We'd all go down the pubs. And
seems like a different era, doesn't it? It was almost expected of you. You would have been looked upon as a bit strange if you'd have said no.
Oh, of course, yeah. If you were sort of frowned upon if you said no. And yeah.
Well, what's wrong with him, sort of thing.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose that's one of the changes that's been for the good, really. That people now, if they don't want to drink, they should feel strong enough to say no. It's not for me.
Exactly right. I wish I did back in the early 80s.
Yeah. So you started after work and following the bands around the pubs, and the bands always were performing in pubs. So, yeah. And then it just got a grip of you, did it?
It certainly did. I controlled it. I got married when I was 25 and then started a family. And I did. I was functional. I got to stay. I bought a home, and we had cars, and I supplied for the family. I always
still working hard.
I always worked hard, yeah, and still managed to get up every morning and off I went to work. But I drank heavily of the night after finished.
Without any thought in your own head that, Stuart, I don't think this is how other blokes are living their lives.
Yeah, I realised that probably in my mid-30s I drank more than most of my peers, and I was always in denial over the years, and I always thought I'd be fine, I could function, but later on in my life it did affect me, yeah.
So moving the clock on a little bit, a number of years, what led you say you've been to Dooralong before, what led you from being in denial to accepting that you really did need help? What was that sort of trigger?
I had a separation from my wife 4 years ago, and it affected me quite a fair bit. I've been married for 32 years, and I've been with the lady from 15 years old, so it's 40 years partnership together.
Part of your life.
And it suddenly stopped. My kids are grown, they're young adults now, and it was hard to talk to them about my problems, and I isolated myself, and I found myself, I drank a lot more. I still was working, but I found myself having time off work, days off work, making excuses all the time, and then I found myself sneaking drinks at lunchtime and then drinking heavily after work.
So from always being a heavy drinker, you've now stepped it up to sort of really abusing it.
I did. Once, I started drinking very heavily for a good 12 months, and I actually stopped working completely, and I just went on Centrelink benefits, and I actually got to the stage, so I was becoming ill, and back in 2016 I admitted to myself finally that I did have a big problem, and I started to lose all the material things that I worked hard for.
Yes.
I'd sold a lot of assets, and so I put myself into the Dooralong.
With the benefit of hindsight, you say the trigger for that sort of spiral, out of control spiral, was a sort of breakup of your relationship. What do you think would have been a healthier way to deal with that? I'm just asking that because there might be guys or girls listening out there who are sort of experiencing a similar sort of emotional turmoil. What would have been a more healthy way, do you think?
I think I should have approached it a lot better than I did. I should have sought help straight after. There was sort of I couldn't repair the marriage. I've already accepted that it was over.
Yeah.
But it did affect me. I hadn't been alone in my life ever, and all of a sudden, bang, I was by myself.
And a lot of people say, don't they, after a breakup of a long-standing relationship, it's almost like bereavement. You have got a lot of grief and a lot of loss to carry.
Oh, I certainly am. I'm actually still, as of today, I'm still going through that grief.
Yeah.
But I'm managing a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so perhaps some sort of counselling or a chat to sort of men's groups or something like that would have been a healthier way.
Oh, it certainly would have. I should have looked at that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I isolated myself, and I found myself sitting in the dark room, no TV, no music, and I just drank.
So you went to Dooralong initially 2016?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah. How long were you there for that first time?
I was there for just on 6 months.
And then you came out. What happened?
I went back out into the world, and I went back to the workforce. I found myself accommodation to live, and I was living quite comfortable. And I never had a drink for 18 months. I was going great. I'd done regular AA meetings.
1.5 years you were completely
1.5
clean.
years. I'd done regular AA meetings, 2 a week down at Yamina Beach. And I had a sponsor. And if I felt like a trigger, or I felt upset over a particular anything that come into my life, I had someone to speak to. And I had close friends that I'd met through Dooralong as well. And they understood my problem, and so we could speak to each other.
Yeah.
And we helped each other. I'd ring them, a lot of my peers that I met through Dooralong, I'd just ring them out of the blue just to make sure they're going all right.
You're doing all the right things?
I thought I was, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did. My father passed away in July last year, and it affected me big time. He was my best friend. And instead of going for help like I should have, I should have sought help. I stopped going to AA meetings. I was feeling very miserable, and I picked up the bottle again. I relapsed.
So you isolated yourself from all those means of support that you'd built up?
Yeah, I did.
Burn those bridges?
I did. I should have approached it a lot better. I should have sought help.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I'd become stubborn in my own ways. Yeah.
Because there's a bit of a pattern here, isn't it, Stuart? Because when your relationship broke down, you didn't seek help, but you drank, and then when your dad died, you didn't seek help.
Yeah, and
so you've learned that lesson now.
I certainly have. And this time around, as I said, I've been in Dooralong for 6.5 months now, and with the lessons I've learned from past experience,
hard lessons.
I know it's the first thing you do if you have a trigger, or you have some sort of a drama in your life or an incident, is to go and seek help. You need to talk to people, and I've learned that lesson.
It's been a hard lesson, but it's an important one, isn't it?
It has, yeah.
Because stuff will happen in all our lives. Stuff will come along and sort of blow us off course, and we don't know which way to turn, but don't turn to drink, seek help.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And my advice is to everyone in my situation is to seek help. You need to talk to people.
Yeah.
And especially people who know exactly what we're going through.
Yeah, wise words. Let's break for some more music. We'll come back to Stuart, and we'll see how the second time round at Dooralong perhaps has been, or is different from the first time round at Dooralong. It is 10:25 on this hazy Wednesday morning. We're talking to Stuart in the studio from Dooralong Transformation Centre. Stuart's coming towards the end, I think, of his second stint at Dooralong. He was first there, as he was telling us, in 2016. Does it feel different doing the course again for a second? No, let me start with another question. Did it take a lot of courage to ring Dooralong the second time and say, look, I've relapsed?
It did and it didn't. I was a little bit afraid to admit that, wow, I've relapsed and I've got to do this all over again.
Was that a feeling that you were letting them down inside?
It certainly was. It was letting Dooralong down, and a lot of people that were helping me, I felt like I've let them down as well. And I was afraid, ashamed to let people know, and I did. I kept it quiet the first few weeks I was there, and then I thought about it deeply, and I thought, well, people should know that what I'm doing, and I've been more encouraged than anything else from family and friends.
Yeah. So, on to the other question I asked you, does it feel different doing the course for a second time?
It certainly does. I did take it the first time around seriously, but maybe this time I've done a lot more programs that's involved. I throw myself in everything, really. I volunteer for anything that's available. Yeah. And it's...
so body and soul, you've thrown yourself into it 100%.
Yes, I have,
yeah. And it feels different for you in some way?
It does. It feels comforting. I feel great there. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
It's been a great journey.
Yeah. You've been there 6 months or so. When will you graduate, Stuart?
I will graduate. Well, technically I graduate on the last week of this year, which is the end of December, so it's coming around very closely, but with the holiday season happening, and there's going to be a lot of people out and about and doing things, so I'll probably stay for another 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'll go into I'll just start the program again. You can start from induction, and then you do the program virtually from scratch, and so I'll hang around it. It's probably going to be great for myself, a refresher. I can help the newcomers and give them a few heads up on how the program does work. Encourage them to stay, because a lot of people they don't like a lot of them don't last. So the more encouragement I can spread, the better for most people. Yeah. So I won't be. I'm not going to race through my exit plan. I'm just going to take my time. Yeah,
take your time, do it properly.
And I'm getting encouraged by staff to hang around, just take my time.
Yeah. And we'll talk a little later about your hopes, your dreams for the future. How does the whole Christianity thing sit with you? Were you a churchgoer when you were a little boy? Were you sent to school or Sunday school?
I done a little bit of Sunday school as a child. I remember doing that. And I done the regular scripture for the Church of England back in the day.
That's right. Yeah, the Anglican we call it now, but Church of England.
I done that through primary school and high school.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand a lot of it. It took me a while to get my head around it. And because from that time onwards, after I left school, there was no church or anything involved in my life up until Dooralong the first time round.
Yeah.
And I was a complete atheist. I didn't understand it, and I was sort of ignorant.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to believe and things like that. But it certainly changed. Now I do believe there is a higher power out there.
Yes.
There's something out there that is helping me as we speak. I think there's something helping me out there. I really do.
Yeah.
And I enjoy Sunday church and our chapel every Wednesday night. It's great fun, and just the atmosphere is fantastic.
And you were telling me you go to Longjetty Salvation Army Church.
Yeah, fantastic place.
You like the mix of old and...
I do, yeah.
Old and modern music.
They've got their own band, and and they have a kiddies time, and that's good to watch too. They have a little share.
Yeah.
And it's good fun. It's fantastic, and I enjoy going every Sunday.
Yeah. Do you ever think, 12, 18 months ago, that you would be saying something like that, like, I enjoy going to church on Sunday?
No. If my kids were listening to me now, they're probably quite shocked, because I haven't really opened up to them. But I'd sort of kept to myself. But they're gonna know. They're gonna know. Of course, they're gonna know one day, because I'm once I leave Dooralong, I'll be still continually going to a church. Depends where I locate.
Yes.
Once I leave.
Yes.
But I'll be definitely going to the local Salvation Army Church.
You will make that part of your sort of aftercare support network or whatever.
That'll part of my relapse prevention, I think I'll call it.
Relapse prevention, that's perfect. That's exactly what it is, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah.
So alongside the Alcoholics Anonymous and the other meetings, there'll be a regular sort of...
It will be, yeah.
And if it's a Salvos church, you've always got that connection with Dooralong. And also that connection with God, your higher power.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So you've been this time around 6 months. You're coming up to your graduation at the end of December. How do you feel about it?
I'm nervous after being in the community, 100 odd people plus, and all of a sudden I know it's coming up soon, and I've got to take that step, and I'm going to be back all by myself.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm concentrating on. I need a lot of peers. I need a lot of friends who've going through the recovery process like me.
Yes.
So I can communicate with them and they can understand what my problems are. Regular AA meetings is a big plus. It's a must. And chapel and church.
Yes.
I really need to do that. But I will. I'm nervous. I certainly am.
But on the plus side, Stuart, you said that after you graduated from Dooralong in 2016, you were free from alcohol. You didn't have a drink for 18 months, so you know you have it within yourself to be clean.
Oh yes, I know I've got the strength. I just had just that a little bit of drama in my life.
When your dad passed on.
My dad passed on, and I done all the wrong things. I didn't seek help.
Yes, that's right.
I had I stopped my regular AA meetings from 2 a week. I went down to 1, and then my sponsor. I ended up going to no AA meetings at one stage, and then I deleted the phone numbers from my sponsors, and I was back to by myself, and unfortunately I relapsed and started to drink again.
You've learned that lesson.
I certainly have. That was a big lesson in my life, and I know I can control it this time round.
Yeah.
I know exactly what to do is to seek help first thing. And speak to someone. And
that's a good note upon which we should break for some more music. It's true, if we ever do need help, then we should reach out for it. If you don't know where to find that help, a good starting place, we mentioned Lifeline, and we think of Lifeline only as in terms of suicide prevention and ringing them when you're feeling suicidal, but they have access via their computers and everything to all sorts of help. So if you wanted some help with counselling, or help with a local AA meeting, or help with drugs, or whatever it might be, if you were to give Lifeline a ring and just tell them the nearest town that you are living by, and just ask them for any sort of alcohol drug counselling services in the area, or whatever else it might be, give them a ring, 13 11 14. And whilst you're doing morning, we're still talking to Stuart from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. He was previously telling us about what's been happening for him on this last 6 months that he's been at Dooralong. But looking to the future now, Stuart, we finished with you saying that you graduate, but you're still a bit apprehensive, understandably, about what the future might hold for you. Have you got any plans for the future? What about employment, accommodation, where you're going to live, all that sort of business?
Yes, Bill. I have. I'm a still metal fabricator by trade, and I've been offered a job in Tuggerah.
Okay.
And it's a full-time work
here on the coast.
Yes,
excellent.
And I know that the man personally. I trained him he was my apprentice many years
now
ago.
You're going to be his apprentice.
Exactly, just about. So yeah. And also I'm in the process of I'm looking through real estate. I'm looking at renting a small unit, maybe with a yard, because I'd like a dog for a bit of companionship.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
And I'm just looking forward to my future. The material things that I lost over the years, I want all that back.
Yes.
With my drinking, I sold a lot of items just to feed my drinking, and all that stuff I'd like back. My future is I think I've mentioned I need to stick to my AA meetings.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to have to do it the rest of my life.
Yes.
Church meetings, I'm definitely going to be doing that most Sundays. I enjoy that, and my family. I can't wait to to see my family regularly on a regular basis. It's been quite isolated back in Dooralong, and they've supported me all the way through, which is fantastic.
So you've got boys?
I've got two boys and a daughter, and they've all got their own families now. My daughter just gave birth to my 5th grandchild, and that's her 2nd.
Have you seen her?
I haven't seen her. Her name's Matilda Ann.
Matilda Ann.
And she's 2 weeks old, and I'll be seeing her this weekend, so I'm really excited about that.
So you're going to have quite a bit of family support out there, aren't you?
I will. I can't wait for Christmas to see all the family together again, and it's going to be great. It gives me the incentive in life, and also I don't want my grandchildren to see an alcoholic grandfather.
No.
So that's my goal.
Another motive, another reason.
Another reason to be sober.
And a very good one, family.
Certainly is.
Yeah. So although you said you were apprehensive and anxious about what the future might hold, it's also quite an exciting time as well, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. I'm looking forward to my future. I can see it's going to be bright.
Yeah.
From the disappointment I've done for myself, my family, to my friends, over the last 20 odd years, I want to change all that, turn it right around, and I've still got very close friends that I went to school with. They've stuck by me, and I want to be able to go and visit these people all the time, stay in regular contact, and get back to work. As I said, I can't wait. I've always been a worker most of my life, and I love my work. So get into work.
So you don't want a flash car and a 5-bedroom house with a swimming pool. You just want a normal life.
Just
family,
a normal life.
Grandkids.
And grandkids. And I might have more grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited for life generally.
Yeah. And as you said, church is going to remain a part of your life.
Oh, it certainly will.
And God is going to remain a part of your life.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Stuart, we wish you all the very best when you do eventually sort of walk out of those gates of Dooralong for the last time. But it doesn't sound as if you're going to become completely detached from them. You're going to sort of keep up that connection with them.
I will.
It would be great if you could find somewhere to live here on the Central Coast, which would be close to your work in Tokoroa. That would be super. Be even more super if you get a nice little dog that you were talking about. That would be somebody to look after.
Yes.
That would be great. So we wish you all the best. We do pray that God will sort of, steer you in the right direction and sort of be a really important part of your life for the rest of your time here on earth.
Thank you, Phil.
Give our regards to everybody back at Dooralong. They do fantastic work out there. The staff, the grounds people, and all the participants as well.
I certainly will.
You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 rema.cc.